Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanavadanam Dhyayeta Sarva Vigno Pashantaye.
Yasyad Virata Bhaktradyaha Parishadya Parashatam Vignan Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenan Tamashrahe Ashrahe
Yananandamayam devam Nirmala spatika kritim Adharam sarvavidyanam Hayagriva Pundarikasanasinam Pandura Sanibam Akantha Bodha Janakam Hayagriva
Guru Yastan Guru Yascha Namo Vakama Vrinnimahe Chatachan Yao Dampati Jagatam Pati Shri Krishna Vagishayatishvaravyam Samprapta Chakrankana Vyasya Saram Shri Nutnarangendrayatao Samarpitasvam Shri Krishna Maryan Guru Varyamide Virodhe Kartike Mase Shatatara Kritodayam Yogacharyam Krishna Maryam Guru Varyamam Maham Bhaje.
Leslie, can you do this part? I really don't remember it. I'm sorry. I don't remember the melody at all. I'm choking.
I made it up, Patty.
No, it sounded perfect. It was amazing.
Okay.
You want me to? I can just read it.
Shishyakam Krishna Maryasya Nathavam Shapradipakam Kalyana Gunarupantam Shri Deshikam Namamyaham Prashanta Purushakaram Viniyoga Pracharakam Vishesha Vaidikam Surim Tandeshikam Smaramyaham Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Hello, Rebecca. Greetings.
Hi. Happy New
And-
Year.
And Rebecca and Sandra. Hello, welcome, Sandra. Everyone, and Elizabeth, I think you just came in. I want to welcome two new people, Timothy Guscott and Caitlin Hipple. So I don't know, raise your hands or unmute yourself or something so we can see you. Good. So welcome. That was beautiful chanting, everybody. Very beautiful. And it's I think it gets learned faster when we are in the same room together if we were to chant every single day, but I thought you did very, very well. These are not easy invocations to start with. Just to bring everybody together, let's all chant, or you're welcome to listen if you've never heard it before, the guru part. So if you have your hand out, the guru part is right at the top of the second column. And I'm a bad girl, I don't have it in front of me. No, here it is, yeah. Yes, at the top of the second column, it's the title is Guru Vandanam. So I'll chant that again just so that we all get those words and stuff. We get all the sounds, just that. We want to honor all our teachers. So here we go. Guru Bhyastad Guru Bhyascha Namo Vakamadhimahe Vranimahe Chatatra Dyao Dampati Jagatam Pati. Now let's go all the way down to the bottom. So we don't have to do the whole thing again, but let's go to Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha and then Harihi Om to purify ourselves even more. Okay. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Let's go to the handout that has the earth prayer on it. So I think it's a 2-page handout and it's on the second page. Let's see. Yeah. I can't remember what it's called. It's chants for equanimity and health and all that. The first page looks like this. And on the second page, we have prayer for the earth. Knock everything down. Does everyone have this chant? Okay. Om Prithvi Shanta Sagnina Shanta Same Shanta Shuchagung Shamayatu Antarikshagung Shantan Tadvayuna Shantan Tanme Shantagung Shuchagung Shamayatu Dyao Shanta Sadityena Shanta Same Shanta Shuchagung Shamayatu. How comfortable did you feel with that? Or how uncomfortable did you feel? Metza Metza for Lisa, thumbs up for Patty, Metza Metza for Rebecca. All right, and thumbs up for Tim, thumbs down for Sandra. All right, let's do 2 lines at a time. I will chant 2 physical lines and then we'll repeat it so that you can hear it if you like, or you can chant it with me twice, whichever works best for you. I'll begin with Om to establish the middle note. Om, Om. Prithvi Shanta Sagnina Shanta Same Shanta Shuchagung Shamayatu. I'll repeat that beginning with Om. Om. Prithvi Shanta Sagnina Shanta Same Shanta Shuchagung Shamayatu. The next 2 lines. Antarikshagung Shantan Tadvayuna Shantam Tanme Shantagung Shuchagung Shamayatu. Antarikshagung Shantan Tadvayuna Shantam Tanme Shantagung Shuchagung Shamayatu. Dyau Shanta Sadityena Shanta Same Shanta Shuchagung Shamayatu. Dyau Shanta Sadityena Shanta Same Shanta Shuchagung Shamayatu. Questions or requests to read something in detail? Sandra, how about you? Is there anything in particular you'd like, other than the whole damn thing?
What I would like is the Jiao Shanta. What do you do with those 2 little apostrophes?
Yes, thank you for asking that. Every time we see 1 apostrophe, it is taking the place of the letter A, which represents the sound A. So, and then when we get when we see two apostrophes, it's either two letter A's or a long ah that is being replaced. So in the line that Sandra was talking about, the second to the last line, and just so in case you didn't know, but you probably may already know this, diau, everyone say diau, diau. Diau is one of the words for the sky or the heavens, diau. Shanta, of course, peacefulness. So adityena is the original word there. Those two apostrophes are taking the place of aditya, which is a word, is another name for the sun. Adityena, by the sun. It's an instrumental case for this noun, meaning the sun. So in chanting, when we encounter an apostrophe, we have to give that an extra beat. So let's start with the very first line because it'll be simpler. There's only one apostrophe there. Agnina. That apostrophe represents the sound for Agni, which means fire. Agnina. So we were taught that with the sound before, that sa has to be elongated to include an or one syllable of the Agni. And it also has to kind of crescendo a little bit. And Elizabeth, kindly weigh in and add or subtract if I'm incorrect, either way, because Elizabeth has learned these rules as well. So listen to that first line. Prithvi Shanta Sagnina Shanta. So there's a Sagnina Shanta. Do you all want to try that with me? Okay, just the Sagnina. Sagnina Shanta. Are you able to get a crescendo a little bit there, along with giving it that syllable? In the second to the last line, we have to double the number of the number of syllables there. So it has to be even more crescendoized. Diao Shanta Sadityena Shanta. Let me see if I can clap it. I'm going to do the first line and then the second to the last line. Okay. Prithvi Shanta Sagnina Shanta. Then the second to the last line. Diao Shanta Sadityena Shanta. Elizabeth, was that making sense to you? Was I in the realm of correct teaching?
Yep, exactly. You did a great job.
Okay.
So if I understand this right, Leslie,
I pay her to compliment me.
if I get this through my head, this is another instance of where the word, if it was by itself matched with another word, is not possible to be spoken, and so we're removing the A's and the apostrophes go in that spot. We just pause rather than trying to say the two vowels together.
Would you say that again? I'm not sure I understood what you were saying. It's my fault, but I just,
right.
I'm
no,
not getting it.
I guess this just seems to be, this is another instance of where the words by themselves, if you pull them out of the dictionary, have more vowels than consonants, but when you put them together, we're dropping vowels.
Yes, the rule of, there's the famous rules of Sandhi. Sandhi meaning blending. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing here. So in other words, with a few exceptions, for example, in Sanskrit, we cannot pronounce two vowels together. If two vowels come one after the other, then a change has to take place. So, so in the case of the first line, sa is followed by agnina. So if we didn't have that rule of sandhi, it would be Prithvi sat shanta sa agnina shanta. And that sa agnina, that's considered awkward. And there is an interruption. It feels awkward when we do it. And I think that chanting was designed in Sanskrit in order for us to develop a sattvic state, you know, and minimize the rajasic or the tamasic states, at least when we're awake and, you know, need to function in the world. But if there are vowels that come together and we have to stop the sound suddenly and then move on, it kind of interrupts things, and it's not a smooth and not necessarily a pleasurable experience. So to smooth it out, we've taken the and just combined it with the of sa. And in the case of the second to the last line, it's just, otherwise it would be Dyao Shanta Sa Adityena Shanta, instead of Dyao Shanta Sa Adityena Shanta. Much smoother. Is just, but that's the reason why.
Leslie, can you just repeat the Sanskrit name for the blending? What it was, sounded like shanty. What is it?
Sandhi. Sandhi. I can never remember if I made hand. I can certainly type up something and show it. So we would spell it Sandhi. And there's a word meaning twilight or dawn, and that word is sandhya. Sandhya, long sandhya. Such a beautiful word. And sandhya. And also I've read somewhere where people in India chant at dawn and at noon and at dusk, and maybe other times of the day, but those are the times of day that signify sandhya, a change from night into morning, and from morning into afternoon, and from afternoon into night. So, and they're significant changes, and they're considered auspicious times for chanting. So sandhi, and what we do in terms of blending our sounds together comes from, or comes along with that other word, sandhya, that blending, making the transition peaceful. Perhaps that was the point in chanting at dawn and midday and dusk, to make the transition into the next part of the day more peaceful. I'm not sure, I just made that up. Whatever. Would you all like to do this one more time before we leave it? And is there anything else you'd like to work on specifically before we do it one more time? Good. Elizabeth?
Just a quick question. When we're changing the anuswara in these lines, for the most part, from like well, even the second line, Shucha Gung Shamayatu. So, but we're not doing it for the third line then, where it's Tadvayuna Shantam.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. So everyone, if you remember, whenever we have anusvara, which is represented with the M accompanied by the dot either over it or under it, then that means that we have to look to the next consonant. So, and the shucha gung, the gungs at the end, those are gungs. The word originally was shucham, but because it's followed by a sibilant sound, there's a rule in Vedic chanting that the shucham has to change to shucha gung sha, shucha gung shamayatu. That's just how it's done. That's the kind of feeling that is desired there. Now, yes, and it was occurring to me while I was chanting. If we take a breath at the end of that third line, antariksha gung shantan. So, but before we get to the third line, excuse me, that second word in line 3, shantam, is followed by the T, which is a dental sound. So everyone, place your tongue right at the front top teeth and release it down and say the word tad.
Tad.
Tad. Tad. Can you all feel that contact with the teeth? So then the nasal sound preceding has to be changed to the N, or the dental sound. So instead of, so if you want to watch my mouth for a minute, instead of going, where, oh, shantam tad. Can you see that? Shantam tad. That's not what we want, because there's a little interruption and there's more work to be done with the tongue. To make it easier for the tongue, we change that shantam to a shantan, and then we get shantan tad. See, it just, you don't have to do any work. So that's what these anusvaras mean. And Elizabeth caught me probably, I was closing at the mouth, I was closing my lips at the end, and I figured if we take a breath at the very end, so at the end of that line, tad vayuna shantam, breath, tan me shantagung. But if you don't want to take a breath, then we need to change to the dental nasal at the end of shantam. So it would be tad vayuna shantan tan me. Do you understand? So whichever you choose, but here it's a choice depending on whether or not we're going to take a breath at the end of that line. So that's really up to you. And for the others, if it's helpful, just take a pencil and draw the letter N to remind yourself. And the shucha gung, that's kind of like, I feel like it's frogs croaking because it's all in the throat. Shucha gung, gung, gung. Everyone say another word. Say the word ganga, ganga. Can you feel the vibration in your throat? So now gung, in gung, we simply remove the vowel of ganga and we have gung. We could say gunga, but just say gung, gung. It's like sounding a gong, but it's gung. Can you feel it, the resonance and the vibration? So that's how it's done in Vedic chanting. Is that clear? Is there anything else you'd like to clarify or, delay chanting?
Yeah, I just quickly. So if we're looking at the second line where you're talking about shucha gung, even though the sha is following it, which is the different mouth position from the gung, we're not changing it for.
I wasn't, but are you changing it, Elizabeth?
Well, I changed it because I thought we were supposed to, but I'm not. I'm asking, I guess, really what you would do, or if we're supposed to just maintain it.
That's the rule, isn't it? That we have to change it to position 2, but that's hard. Shucha gun shanmayatu. I haven't heard them doing it that way.
I guess.
Have you heard the teachers do it that way?
I can't say I have. I guess I was just wanted to clarify for myself what was correct. So
just sound the gung and go sha. I don't know. You might have to, if you can put it in position 2, which is the soft palate, but the G has to be at the throat because that's where it is.
Yeah.
Shuchagun shamayatu. Yeah, try it. It'll sound Shuchagun shamayatu. It is possible. If you feel it's just too much and you'd rather not bother, I won't tell anybody and keep it at the throat. Shuchagun shamayatu. And Dr. Sharma would say, no heaven will fall down. It's all in our intentions. Let's do this one more time together before we leave it. Let's just see if any flow comes for you. Om Prithvi Shanta Sagnina Shanta Same Shanta Shuchagun Shamayatu Antarikshagun Shantan Tad Dvayuna Shantan Tan Me Shantagun Shuchagun Shamayatu Dyao Shanta Sadityena Shanta Same Shanta Shuchagun Shamayatu. How many of you were able to get the gung into the soft palate? It wasn't easy, but I kind of got it. Thank you, Elizabeth, I think. Let's move to the book. Does everybody have a copy of the book? Oh, no, the handout, Karagre. Let's go back to that. We started with that. We had that last week. I decided to start off a little bit softly, or what I thought was soft anyway. Karagre, the hands, upon the hands, or at the hands. Karagre, I'll just recite it by speaking it. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, on the tips of the fingers lives, dwells Lakshmi. Karamule, mula, the root. At the root of the hand lives Sarasvati. And then Karamadhye, at the center of the palm, lives Govinda, the cow protector, Krishna. Every morning, Prabhate, in the morning, Prabhate Kara darshanam, darshanam, seeing, I look at, I see, I regard my hands. So it's every morning I greet my hands with gratitude and respect for all that the hands do. Kara, kara, that which makes, that which does. So kara is a word for hand, and it also is derived from the root verb kr, to make. Kr, karma, action, kara, hands. Hello, beauty. Everybody, this is Patty's daughter, Winnie. Winnie, would you like to perform Karagre for us? Okay, so let's all listen to Winnie, and if you've learned it, chant along, but then we'll do it slowly later. Okay.
I'll do it with you. It's Winnie's
Start with
birthday.
Om. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It's her birthday today, just so you know. It's
Happy
like
birthday. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday, Winnie.
Thank you.
okay, we're gonna do it together. Ready? With the hands too. Let's get your hands in there. Okay, ready? Karagre Vasate Lakshmi Karamule Sarasvati, Karamatye tu Govindaha, Prabhate Karadarshanam.
Brava, that was beautiful. Satyam Shivam Sundaram Vimalam Bhavatu Te Jivanam. Truth, goodness, and all that is beautiful in you. May your life be pure, you beautiful girl. Happy birthday, sweet one.
She says speak one.
How old are you today?
6.
6.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you, Winnie. That was just beautifully done. Now we all have to learn to do it, and we're going to try to do it as well as you can. That's a tall order. So everybody from last week. So this is a beautiful chant, and it's on Shubraji's CD, her recording Shloka Mala. If you'd like to, go to a recording of it, and she does a beautiful job. So let's just chant it first, everyone. We'll do it one line at a time. Om Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Karamule Sarasvati, Karamule Sarasvati, Karamadhye tu Govindaha, Karamadhye tu Govindaha, Prabhate Karadarshanam, Prabhate Karadarshanam. So everyone, I taught everyone gestures, or the the yantras with the hands. So and maybe you saw a little bit of already. So this is how the hands dance with the words. So on the fingertips, Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Karamule Sarasvati, Karamadhye tu Govindaha, Prabhate Karadarshanam, Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Karamule Sarasvati, Karamadhye tu Govindaha, Prabhate Karadarshanam. So is there anything in the chanting or gestures that you'd like to go over before we just do this twice through? Shall we just do it twice through? Okay. Join me with the hands as you're ready. Okay, here we go. Om Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Karamule Sarasvati, Karamadhye tu Govindaha, Prabhate Karadarshanam. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. Karamule Saraswati. Karamadhye tu Govindaha. Prabhate Karadarshanam. Then we could just repeat the last line. Prabhate Karadarshanam. Well, I know Winnie's becoming a pro. You are so accomplished at this. I didn't hear you, but I felt like I could hear you. I felt it. So beautiful. Last week, we started to learn the Nirvana Satkam, which was quite a mouthful. And it's on page 91 of your booklet. Let's return to the first verse and see how it goes for you. And I would like you to give me your feedback. I wasn't sure that it went very well last week. It's such a mouthful. It has a beautiful rhythm to it. And if you like, what I played in the beginning while everybody was coming aboard, there's a rendition that Vyas sings. And actually, let me ask you this. Would you like me to play Vyas's version right now? I can play it on my CD player and see if you can hear it. How do you feel about that? Should we try that? There's instrumentation. Thumbs up, down, not sure. Okay, good. Just give me a minute here. This is Bhagarata Viva Samprikta. It's short. This is not that chant. Okay, now I'll fast forward. Okay. Can you hear that? Okay. Thank you for letting me know. I mean, it goes on and on, doesn't it? So that gives you a sense of the rhythm. Let's chant the first verse. Let's see what happens with that. I may or may not stick to his melody, but the rhythm is the rhythm.
Leslie, excuse me, I'm having trouble hearing you. Is your
Oh.
sound, is it just me or?
Maybe I have to be louder. I don't know. Maybe I just need to be louder. Can you hear me better now?
It's about the same.
Sounds okay to me.
Does it? Okay, well, maybe it's just something with me then.
Okay, well, I'll scream. Okay, let's just give this a shot, shall we? Om Mano Buddhyahankara Chittaninaham Nacha Shrotra Jihve Nacha Grana Netre Nacha Vyoma Bhumir Natejo Navayu Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Let's break that down. Mano Buddhyahankara. Just that. Mano Buddhyahankara. Chittaninaham. Chittaninaham. Now that whole first line. Mano Buddhyahankara Chittaninaham. The next line. Nacha Shrotra Jihve Nacha Grana Netre Nacha Shrotra Jihve Nacha Shrotra Jihve Nacha Grana Netre Nacha Grana Netre. Let's do those first two lines together. Mano buddhya hankara chittani naham nacha shrotra jihve nacha grana netre. Moving on. Nacha vyoma bhumir na tejo na vayuhu. Nacha vyoma bhumir nacha vyoma bhumir na tejo na vayuhu. Na tejo na vayuhu. Chidananda rupaha. Chidananda rupaha. Shivoham, 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 Shivoham. Those last two lines. Nacha vyoma bhumir na tejo na vayuhu. Chidananda rupaha. Shivoham, Shivoham. The Visarga in the last line, the Anusvara in the last line. This is not a Vedic chant, so the rules are a little more relaxed. But let's see what happens in that Shivoham, Shivoham. That first hum changes to a hum, shi. So it goes right in with the sibilant shi. Now that's in the soft palate, which is a little strange for us, but shi, shi. So it would be Shivoham, Shivoham, then it ends at the lips. Let's do that 3 times. Shivoham, 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 sorry, Shivoham, Shivoham. Please unmute yourselves and let me know what you feel about this whole.
It was easier to follow than last week, I think, for me anyway.
What, were you able to derive any pleasure from it yet?
Yeah.
Much pleasure, much pleasure.
Sandra, was that a yeah or a not now?
No, that was a yes.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I was unsure as to whether this was going to feel worth the effort. I think it is worth the effort, but surely this particular chant will go much, much better when we're all in the same room and we can really hear each other. Because then we can, hearing each other's voices keeps us on the right pitch. And well, no, that's not necessarily true. As a group, we tend to go down in pitch, but I mean, there's a group support that we just can't have on Zoom, unfortunately. Those of you who are here for the first time today, for the first time with this, how is this for you, this chant? Is it something you'd like to continue working on? That's my, thumbs up. Thank you, Caitlin.
Leslie, I really like this chant a lot. The 4th word in the 2nd line was a sound that I'm unfamiliar with.
Jihue? No.
Yeah.
Jihue.
Yeah.
Jihue.
Ji-
Jihue has to do with taste. It's a jihua is the tongue. Jihua. Jihua. The tongue, or that which gives us speech, but that is the instrument of taste. So in that line, he's talking about shrotra, I am not hearing, I am not taste, I am not smelling, grana, and I am not sight, netre, seeing. So how to pronounce jihue? Jihue. And so again, and for those of you who are new, although Caitlin, you may be familiar with this because you've had me chant with you before, but in the Vedic chant, we learn to support every aspirate sound with our abdomen. So if we go to the abdomen, whenever you see the letter H, so it's jihwa or jihwe. What happens is after the jih, immediately after the jih, yes, whoever did that, was that Sandra? Somebody did that beautifully. The abdomen below the navel, that has to go back sharply towards the spine. Jihwe. That helps the aspirated sound come out. And we also use the abdominal support with all the aspirated sounds because it saves the vocal cords. It helps, it protects us. And I was just, yeah.
The letter at the end of line 4, Vayahu, is more of what we would expect to see in transliteration, but in Jihue, it's more like the English W, kind of.
Jihue. Yeah, Jihue. You're right. It comes out for me like a W also. Jihue. It just, with that aspirated sound preceding it, it sort of brings on the W, doesn't it? In Vayuhu. And the H in Jihwe is the letter Ha without the vowel sound. So it's Jihve. But at the end of Vayuhu, that H represents Visarga. And the transliterating people, either the Germans or the English, whoever came up with this, they used the H in both cases because it's an aspirated sound. So it's, you know, if you forget whether it's the letter H or if it represents Visarga, it doesn't matter. It's telling us to be aspirating, to have a breath sound. Thank you, Tim. Is there anyone here who would rather not continue with this chant? And that's really okay. Or are you all right to just work with it a little by little every week? Okay. For next week, who would like to chant some of the invocation? Not yet, Sandra?
I don't know if
Is
you
there-
saw Leslie. I'm sorry. That Lauren left and she said that she would do it.
Okay, good.
So
Wow.
Is
Dr.
there a
Bravo.
recording somewhere so that I can learn it?
yes.
Is there? I didn't know.
Yeah, I have a recording.
Okay, great.
I'll send you the link so you
Yeah.
don't have to go through all the YouTube videos.
If I can spend some time with the recording, I'm happy to take a stab at a little bit of the invocation next week.
That sounds wonderful. I think for the new, because there's Tim and there's Caitlin, we might, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Oh. Anyway, yes, I think it's all good. Lisa, would you like to go for another chant? Those of you who did chant this morning, bravo. That was wonderful. Very, very good.
Thanks, Leslie. I might take the first verse if that's okay.
Yes, I would love that. Okay, there you go. You'll be setting the tone for the whole class.
Oh no, pressure.
Let's do our closing invocation, which should be on the same handout as the opening invocation. Okay. I'll do it today, and then perhaps we'll have volunteers to lead us starting next week. So it's Kshama Shlokaha and Satvika Tyagaha. And here's how we do it in Sonia Nelson and Deborah Kurian's classes. Yadaksharapada Brashtam Matrahinantu Yad Bhavet Tatsarvam Kshanyatan Deva Narayana Namostute Shrimate Narayanaya Namo Namaha Kayena Vacha Manasendriyairva Buddhyatmanava Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Yad Sakalam Parasmai Narayana Yeti Samarpayami Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so, so much. And please contact me anytime if you have any request at all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca.